Aikido means the way of harmony with the universal energy. Aikido allows you to use the energies or forces of any situation to create innovative solutions through the power of harmony. The same principles that make Aikido so effective in the physical dimension translate to every facet of our lives. Aikido was founded in 20th century Japan by Morihei Ueshiba, called O-sensei, or great teacher. Though he was a peerless martial artist, he called his art the art of peace. In our metaphor, the attack represents the energy of change, of any pressure, challenge, or situation that arises. I want to talk about what I call Aikido in 3 easy lessons. So I understand Aikido not as a series of techniques, which I would call Aikiwaza, but Aikido as a way of being in the world. The 3 fundamental principles to me are a sense of presence. In a present state, I think one tends to harmonize with one's environment, but that's what we practice as the second principle. And once we're present and in harmony with what's going on, conscious and aware and moving in harmony, then we become able to lead, to create creative solutions, to produce options that are invisible or inaccessible in a state of conflict or opposition to what is, or if you're not present. Once you're in a harmonious relationship, you can lead them into, in our lineage here, we're going to probably be doing Aikido techniques. So I move in such a way that somebody sees an Aikido technique happen. I'd say I move in such a way that we can start to look at a different possibility in our business strategy, in our relationship, in our parenting. So you really got to get your presence, then harmony, then you can start to give your people direction. Hopefully, you'd have a little sense of moving in a way that let you lead, let you guide, let you take some control, if that's the right word, and start to set up the pattern that you as a leader should be doing, or you as a teacher, or you as a therapist, or you as a, I don't know what else you do. What we're looking for is this spirit of harmony, where we haven't done it in a way to damage the other person, but we have done it in a way to take control of the situation so we can find a solution. Again, in our case, it's an Aikido technique, but could just as easily be a security issue in one of your clients, you know. Not being present won't cut it. Forcing your opinion won't cut it, but listening and harmonizing starts to open up a different infinity, a different creation. This fundamental presence is so critical to our work. So presence, I call it feel where you are, because that's the way you get to presence. All right, so one of the ways I like to work in terms of presence is I just put a little pressure on someone. And you can see already, she's changed her body-mind unity. Her mind-body-spirit are much more functional here now, or connected or something. Then there's a certain kind of power, and when pressure comes and hits you in your life, it doesn't upset you the way it did. If you can go back to your previous mindset for a second, you can't handle the same kind of pressure the same way. So feel where you are, to me, is just getting present in the moment, just being here. Once mind and body are unified, there's a certain power to that presence. And that power tends to be a little less paranoid and a little less aggressive in response to that paranoia, and it tends to be much more openly creative. It starts to hold open or uncoil things that aren't possible in a tight space, that aren't possible when mind and body are not unified. All right, so the first principle is presence, or center ground flow. And then we'd go into our second principle, which would be what I call harmonious relationship, or harmonize. You add your note in, you're putting your energy into it, but not in opposition to their force. I don't want to yield to it. I don't want to oppose it. I want to move in a way that puts me in harmony with it, so that then I can begin to suggest other possibilities. You wouldn't want to do it from here. You'd naturally want to be here. You'd want to move to a more harmonious relationship with their force for whatever movement's going to follow it. It really doesn't matter what the attack is. You don't want to be not present. You want to be bringing your mind and body into the moment where you can feel where you are, you can feel where your partner is, you can feel where their movement's going. The power of that shift from not feeling where you are and just being a victim of your own energy to centering and grounding. Go ahead. Not only does it make it possible to take a lot more pressure before it bothers you, but it puts you in a position where when you do move, it changes the game. All right? So presence, whatever you want to call it, I call it feel where you are, because that's the way you get to presence. Your system starts naturally equalizing. It comes to a much more present place. As you start to feel yourself, you also know where to move with somebody. It's easy to know that harmonizing with him this direction is going to be much easier than trying to move you almost any other direction. How do I know that? Well, because I can feel where I am in relationship to your force. See, this time I can't move you that way, but this way, there's something about simply bringing your attention to focus on what you're experiencing. I can tell that this would be an easy move to do with you. I'm almost naturally going to move in a harmonious way in relationship to your pressure. But if I'm not here, then it's natural I'm going to want to fight with you. From this state, I have a very different relationship to the world. So getting present gives you a kind of a confidence, is that the right word? Or spirit, where you know where the technique can be had, where the openings lie. There's something about simply bringing your attention to focus on what you're experiencing. So this feeling where you are is the process. Getting in harmony with your, call it discomfort or whatever, is the process that leads to the creative world, or where you start to perceive the next level or the next finer dimension. All right, so presence, harmony, and then out of that harmony between us, creative solutions begin to show themselves. When you'd like to have influence in a situation and you're in opposition to it, you can expend a lot of energy for a little result. When you learn how to move into a harmonious relationship, much, much greater effect with much less effort. Doing more and more with less and less. So if you're not present, those forces will overwhelm you. In a fight, you're defeated. In life, you just can't handle it. When you're present, now you can fight, you could flee, or you could blend. You could harmonize with the unfolding situation. And once you've, from a present state, moved into a relationship where you and your partner are in harmony, your influence is infinitely greater. To become present, feel where you are. Harmonize, participate in the creativity of change. But I don't want people operating out of habits. I want them operating consciously out of the moment. There are no kata in Aikido because the universe is constantly changing. So we should be constantly changing. If your training is right, you click into a better place. And that, to me, is the fundamental practice, that you're moving to a better center. As soon as you start to come into this resonance with yourself, I think you don't operate from that fear place. You operate from a spirit of learning, a spirit of play, a spirit of understanding. And you radiate that to other people. And I think people get caught up in it. We start to generate that. And once we're learning together, we could be so creative. The spirit that you enter the situation with is the most influential power that you have, and it is incredibly powerful in terms of the outcome. If you shift your spirit, your attitude, the quality of being that you're bringing forward, you've changed the game. Not being present won't cut it. Forcing your opinion won't cut it. But listening and harmonizing starts to open up a different infinity, a different creation.